Okay, this video will help you understand the Teams system used by CFB to control a lot of our student information management and employee information management. To get to Teams, you need to go to the CFB staff portal, which is cfbportal.org. I recommend that since you use the portal to access so many of our different systems on a regular basis, you create a bookmark up here in your menu. Whichever browser you choose to use is fine. You can do bookmarks in Firefox or in Internet Explorer or in Chrome. But that would be really helpful, and with one click you can get to everything you need for your daily routine. To access Teams, you click on the link right here. It's right in the front here in the center, and a new window will open. I'm going to resize that for you so you can see. You enter your district login credentials, so the same you would use to log into any district computer. Typically it's your last name and your first initial, but depending on how many people have your same last name or same first initial, you may have a different setup there. Click OK. Okay, so there are three areas in Teams that you will probably use the most frequently. One is the teacher menu, and it may end up in a different place. It may not always be right here in the center of that setup there, but depending on how many menus you're provided with, which actually depends on your position, it may be rearranged. Just look for the one that says STU or teacher menu. And within that menu you can choose to set up your gradebook, maintain your gradebook, enter classroom grades, and take attendance. So that's probably where you'll spend most of your time in Teams. Okay, other important areas for you to know about is the My Personal Information menu right here. There's only one item. This is how you access your employee information, which we'll talk about in a separate video. And then Reports, which is where you access the system designed to help you run reports on student grades and student attendance, various information related to your classroom. Okay, so we're going to go to the teacher menu. So I clicked on the little arrow down here to see all the links that are included in that menu. And we're going to start by taking classroom attendance. So you click on that. And now it's the middle of June, so I don't actually have a class, and so there's no way for me to take attendance. But the system is actually very straightforward. If there were classes here, you would click on the class that you are currently teaching, be it first period or second period, or if you're an elementary school teacher, you'll only have one section. Double click or click the class and then hit select. Once you've clicked select, you'll have a list of your students. And then over on the right hand side, you'll have a list of options to select for each student, one being present, one being absent, and one being tardy. And you just click their little radio buttons, little buttons that you click in, which one applies for each student, and you'll want to submit. That's all there is to it, to taking attendance. Very simple. If you click on the Maintain Teacher Gradebook category down here, this is where you'll actually need to set up a gradebook. Here you'll see I have two classes listed that I taught last semester. You click on the class and you'll have the option to set up different types of grades used throughout the year. Okay, that will be addressed in one of your guides, your guide sheets. But the idea, especially in our district, is that we have three different types of grades. You have your summative grades, which are your tests, your projects, your formative grades, daily work, and then homework grades. Homework grades are, as you can see, only worth 2%. Formative worth 23 and summative worth 75. This is not something you can actually manipulate. However, you can change the color for each of these, which will also be addressed in your guide. Once you have selected your class up here, as you can see, I have selected my Math class. It's for modified academics. You can go to the Teacher Gradebook tab at the top of this list. And you'll be able to see a list of the assignments that you've created. To create a new assignment, you click Add, choose whether it's a formative, homework, or summative assignment. Say I'm making a summative, and type in your name for whatever summative assessment it is. Okay? You assign the date that you are giving the assessment. Let's say I gave it on June 2nd. And then the date that it was due. This can be different from the assignment date if you're working on a long-term project, or if a student needs to take more than one day to take a test. We'll say it's the same. And you're done. That's it. That's all there is to adding adding an assignment to your teacher gradebook. Now, if you want to view those grades in the gradebook, you're going to come into Enter Classroom Grading. Click on the class where you added the assignment. And scroll to see the different grades that you've added. Grades can be entered simply by typing or clicking in a box and then typing. So let's say the student earned an 87. You do, however, want to frequently use the Save option down here. If anything should happen in Teams, and there are occasional little issues where it'll shut down or it'll time out, you want to make sure that you've saved anything that you've entered, especially if you've entered many, many grades or if you have a large class. From the teacher or classroom grading menu, you can actually access the menu where you create your assignments. If you come down here to the Assignments button, no, we don't want to save that because that's not a real grade. You get exactly where we started just a moment ago, and you can add an additional grade or additional assignment from the grading menu. I find that that's sometimes more convenient than having to create all of them at one time and then go enter all of them at one time. This can be manipulated throughout the year. You will find that there are restrictions on when you can and cannot enter grades due to the grading periods that the district has created for us. So at the end of a 9 weeks period, you will no longer be able to edit those grades without special permissions from the people on your campus who are in charge of the team system. Typically that's an instructional technology specialist or perhaps an assistant principal or a counselor. Okay, so that is the teacher menu in Teams. Hopefully that was a nice quick overview for you and you learned something about how you're going to manage your grades and take attendance, things you're going to be needing to do all year long. When you're done in Teams, don't forget to sign out because all this information is confidential. So click sign out and you're ready to do something else.